You're not gonna know at 5 years old what outer space looks like in detail. And the way he described the opium fever dream was very similar in style, if not in substance, to how my mind reacted to death. Hey guys, what's crackin'? Welcome back to my channel. So this week's video is actually really cool because it is a subscriber submission. Which basically means that a few weeks back I received a comment asking me to cover this specific topic. So today I'm going to be reading near-death experience stories. These stories honestly kind of freak me out. You know, the stories that are basically like, I went to heaven and came back, or I went to hell and came back, or I died and was brought back to life. Those stories freak me out. That being said, really quick before we get into it, I did just want to thank my subscriber Dean for suggesting this video because like I said, I hadn't thought about it, and when you commented that, I was like, dude, I need to read these stories because they always freak me out. Like, so I found a thread on Ask Reddit, of all places, not surprising, basically asking people for their near-death experience stories, as well as what they saw on the other side. So this thread was created by Reddit user Dylan Bird, and the title of the thread is Serious: People Who Have Been Clinically Dead and Came Back. How was the other side? So this story comes from Reddit user Farmer Chick. My mother came back from dying as they were signing her death certificate. Complications with anesthesia during a C-section. On many occasions, she has described the struggle she had as she laid there, able to feel everything, but unable to move as they cut into her and took me out. During this, she remembers losing the ability to breathe and panicking for a few moments before, quote, a realization that breathing wasn't really important. What? That's terrifying. That's so weird. She remembers looking down at her body and even told the doctors everything they were saying and doing to her as they tried to revive her. In her experience, coming back was a conscious choice. She felt that she could either choose to leave or choose to stay, and that it would be okay either way. That rhymed. Obviously, she decided that she had some rather pressing responsibilities to resume and came back, but she has always described the whole event to be very warm, loving, and reassuring. Can you imagine having an out-of-body experience where you're just watching doctors try to revive you during the birth of your child? This poor woman, oh my gosh. Girl. What a bad mom. Anyways, so the next one comes from Reddit user Technic, I think. Their name will be somewhere up here on the screen. I got hit by a car when I was 3. Wow. Hook, line, and sinker on that one. I stayed conscious long enough to accept a teddy bear from a man who saved me. All I know is his name was Matt, and that's what I call the teddy to this day. My heart stopped for just shy of 2 minutes. I had lost a ton of blood and was dealing with insane amounts of trauma as far as nerve endings go. Wow, that's a lot for a 3-year-old. And then I had a really weird out-of-body experience. There was a Taco Bell on the corner of the strip mall that we were at. So the way that this is written is kind of confusing, but I'm gonna do my best to paint you guys this Taco Bell picture, okay? The guy dropped the order when the police cruiser arrived after I was already in the back of the fire truck. And he ran his siren once to make sure people cleared away from him. It was like I was looking down. Oh my god, is this what all near-death experience stories are like? Is it like, are we gonna have these weird out-of-body experiences where we're watching our death and pursuit for survival and revival? Yo, take me in my sleep. I don't want to deal with that. No. No, no. My mom was sobbing, and my dad was literally holding her arms to keep her from running to me while they were all swarming me. I got this feeling like it was time to go, so I watched my mom as I left. I got sucked into a vacuum, and it felt like I ended up in this space that was empty. Oh my god, all of these are making me so uncomfortable. Like, my skin is crawling yet again. I hate this so much. And this person was 3. Can you imagine experiencing this as a 3-year-old? 3-year-old. I honestly can't describe it. It felt like a, quote, welcome home message. Then it all blacked out. I woke up in the ICU and I was f***ing terrified of the beeping in the tubes, and I screamed until my dad came to comfort me. So yeah, I tend to think there's something on the other side. Oh lord, that poor baby. That like really just makes me so uncomfortable, but it also just makes me want to cry. Because there are young people, and just obviously people in general who experience this. Like, makes me really emotional. I don't know. So this next story that I have doesn't actually have a username attached to the story. But like I said, there will be links in the description to this thread. So if you want to go and read this near-death experience story for yourself or read other ones, it will be there in the description down below. I'm like so freaking awkward and these stories make me really uncomfortable. When I was 5, I was in a house fire. I had stopped breathing and went into cardiac arrest, but was resuscitated by paramedics. 16% of my body suffered 3rd-degree burns. Oh lord. Can you imagine the skin grafts for 16% of your body? That's like a lot. Am I wrong? Like, I'm not a medical professional, but isn't that like a lot for 3rd-degree burns and for skin grafts? I was in a coma for about 5 weeks before I woke up. I distinctly remember my zone of vision zooming out, up from Earth, and into the clouds, and eventually out of our atmosphere and into space. See, that's what I'm saying, like, this is so creepy. Like, could you imagine just like zooming out of your body? You're a 5-year-old and you're flying out of your body up into space. No, no. No. I remember flying through the galaxies, but I didn't know what they were at the time. I described it to my parents as going to heaven. See, that's the thing, that's so weird to me because they're 5, right? You're not gonna know at 5 years old what outer space looks like in detail. It's just how I feel about it. I don't know how I would dream that at such a young age. Thinking back now, I believe my conscious flew out to all the outward expanding energy of the universe. I felt like I became one with the entire universe in almost an instant. I can't really explain it. I think there is something after death so great and complex and perfect. I really couldn't comprehend it. I just know it was one of the best feelings I can ever remember, even now, 21 years later. Oh my god. Freaks me out. It really just freaks me out. Okay, I think this is probably going to be the last of these stories that I read, and it comes from Reddit user SweaterZach. I love that name. So it says, I'm not sure whether I was clinically dead. I can only speculate, but I suspect I was. I was struck by lightning as a child. Holy crap! What is going on with these kids who are having near-death experiences? I lost about 3 to 5 minutes in total, during which I was likely dead. The things I saw and heard made me believe that the world I entered was liquid. Shapes were distorted, but recognizable. I found myself a bit stunned by how quickly I adapted to the logic of the place, and not only accepted, but even predicted how things would occur in the liquid world. This one is like really strange. A decade later, I read an H.P. Lovecraft story called The Crawling Chaos. And the way he described the opium fever dream was very similar in style, if not in substance, to how my mind reacted to death. Ew, if heaven is like real and it's liquid, I don't know how I feel about that. I have to assume that all of this was backfilled, as I obviously wasn't producing new memories or sensations when I was out. Like, I don't even know how to feel about that one. Liquid? You went somewhere that was liquid? Was this like an alien experience? Oh my gosh, could you imagine if it's like War of the Worlds where they were like striking lightning, but instead of like beaming aliens down through the lightning, they were beaming people up, and this Reddit user just went to another world that was completely made of liquid. Yo. Anyways guys, I think that's pretty much it for this video. Once again, thanks so much for Dean for recommending this video to me. Reading near-death experience stories really obviously made me very uncomfortable, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you made it all the way here to the end and did like what you see, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. It really helps out my channel. Also make sure you leave a comment down below letting me know if you've had a near-death experience story, because if you have, I would love to hear about them. Maybe we will read about them in another video. And finally guys, thanks so much for watching. My name is Courtney. I run a paranormal/horror channel here on YouTube. I like to create content surrounding paranormal investigations, telling scary stories, doing 3 AM challenges, and talking about conspiracy theories, as well as anything and everything that has to do with the scary, creepy, and spooky. So if those are topics you're interested in seeing more of, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on your bell so you are notified every single time that I upload. And with that said, I'll see you all next week for another new video. Bye.